Hey, good afternoon. It is Wednesday, August the 3rd? This is Neil, midweek update, and I don't have a lot to say. I'll go ahead and tell you. Catching us up, hashing where we, how we got to where we are, as we discussed earlier at the beginning of the week. It was a monster run for July, tacked on about 9%. I don't know what, close to 5% of that just in the last week of July. And with that much momentum, I was definitely looking for a retracement to buy into, and if and only if retracement, then for continuation higher. That just hasn't happened. But now look, okay, the close of last week was what, 41.32, and here we are today, 41.52. So it's not like it's gained a lot, okay? We're 20 points ahead of last week's close since we started this thing on Monday about, needing a retracement and then looking for the continuation. Remember this, and this is what I'm telling myself this week, okay? Remember this. Sometimes it's better to wish that you were in a trade than to just wish that you were not in one that's not working for you. In other words, like, boy, I wish I was in, the pain outweighs the gain when, one hand you wish you were in something that's working towards what your objective or your goal, versus the alternative, wishing that you were not in a trade that is going against you. All right. So right now, this is like, well, kind of wish I was in this. It's, working towards that objective up there, objective 4,200. But I'm not. And here's why. A big move last month and last week of last month. With that, I needed a breather to, allow this thing to kind of settle down, to get into something where I could make sense of the risk versus the reward of looking for that objective up there at 4,200. And I never got the retracement. So here's what it looks like. The big monster retracement that we saw so far this week was simply to come back and test last Thursday's high. That's not good enough. Not for me. It's just simply not good enough. That's not at all deep enough. Maybe consider starting to look at nibbling a little bit at least weekly pivot, and that's really not good enough. You could pay up and look at that, but it never happened. And then, as I mentioned, ideally it would be back on last Wednesday's high, which would be back here at the LVN at 40.42. 40.42 is the spot, okay? But it just hasn't happened. It hasn't happened yet. So today was Wednesday, high for the week, high for the move on a Wednesday, backs off into the close. We're looking at, what do you want to do tomorrow? Do you want to, is there some chance for some volatility tomorrow that brings this thing back? And at least, like I said, it's got to, or I'll just end up saying, hey, I wish I was in that, versus, and that surely is better than, wow, I wish I wasn't in that, that's not working out. At least back into this weekly pivot. And like I said, in my opinion, that's really still paying up. Still same objective, 4,200. And this has to happen tomorrow. Either it comes in tomorrow, or we simply have no trade this week. And we're looking at what to do next week. The answer is going to be 4,250. That's going to be next week. That's going to be the answer for bull target for next week's 4,250. We'll discuss where to try to get that done, but that's going to be the objective. And look, so if it's going to come in, it's got to come in tomorrow, because there is one last chance for From there, then the volatility that could be the momentum uptick to make the objective on Friday, and that would be non-farm payroll Friday. Okay, so here's the real quick and short and sweet about this. Either it comes in tomorrow, and we get a chance to get this done from reasonable levels back here, targeting 4,200 for this week, or quite simply, there is no trade this week, and we move on to next week and find a place to participate for a new objective, which in my opinion I think is going to be 42.50. All right, that's it. So far we got nothing. Sorry about that, but I can't justify this very, very, very small, really anemic, meaningless retracement back into 80 that simply reaches back and touches off on last Thursday's high. Not good enough. So I got nothing. All right. Better be honest and straight about that than try to make some excuse or something. So is what it is. We'll figure it out. If we get the pullback tomorrow to participate, we throw those flies up there, buy calls, or throw the flies up there at 4,200 for end of week for Friday. If this plays out, then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look to put mine about 25 wide up there and see how it plays out. But at that point, if it doesn't work, we're gonna lose very little versus a lot. And because if you get in up here at these prices, I mean, you're talking about risking a lot. These things are, they're going to set you back. I mean, they were like $3 today or something. No way. That's not worth it. There's no good risk reward skew on that, so can't do it. That's it for tonight. I'll see you first of next week, if not some kind of a emergency update or something before then. If not that, then I'll see you early next week. Be good.
Without simpler trading, I could not have financial independence.
This is one of the best investments I ever made in my life.
It's helping me find consistency. It's one of the things that won me